Hello everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at Ecovacs' new robot, the Deebot T90 Pro Omni. Ecovacs' latest robot adds in new features like a 50% wider Ozmo mopping roller and better tangle-free abilities into a more affordable option, and is meant to sit at the top of their midline. Today we'll be taking a look at the features of the T90, put it through a variety of cleaning tests, see how it holds up after testing, and I'll show you how to take care of it. Ecovacs has upgraded their mid-range docks, and this one now has Power Boost fast charging. There's two onboard tanks, one for clean water and one for the collected dirty water. The front panel removes, and Ecovacs has added a dedicated cleaning solution compartment and a large disposable bag that's easy to change. Ecovacs Ozmo Roller self-washing has been upgraded too, with high-pressure, fresh water self-washing and a new perforated sink that's easy to remove and rinse out. The robot itself has a totally new design, and it's meant to offer several of their top-of-the-line features at a more affordable price point. The new Ozmo mopping roller is 50% wider for faster mopping and uses their latest True Edge 3.0 for tighter edge mopping of rooms. Ecovacs has also introduced a new Zero Tangle 4.0 brush roll with better tangle-free abilities. With this setup, the brush roll is only attached at one end, and as it cleans, hair and debris are fed down to the open end of the brush roll, where it's flung off into the dirt bin. They're also doing something unique with the exhaust air of the robot, diverting some of it to the brush roll chamber at the connected end, creating sort of a suction loop in the machine, blowing hair down the brush roll where the suction can grab it. It has the X11's tangle-free side brush and threshold climbing wheels called True Pass Adaptive 4-Wheel Drive, able to easily climb standard thresholds even if they're in tiers. In my climbing test, I had no issues climbing the thresholds in tiers, but did hit a limit trying to return the opposite way, now facing a very tall threshold. The T90 has another interesting feature, an inaccessible dirty water tank onboard the robot. The robot has a small siphoning tube along the collection tray for pulling liquid and small debris into the dirty water tank. The onboard tank has an impeller that grinds up larger particles almost like a garbage disposal, and during self-washing, the tank is flushed out. On the front of the T90, there's the AI-VI 3D navigation system using a suite of sensors, a camera, and an integrated LiDAR for smart navigation and obstacle avoidance. Now for some tests, and let's first test the obstacle avoidance of the T90. On both hard floors and carpeting, I've put down a variety of objects on the floor and let the T90's new AI-VI 3D vision system navigate the obstacles with all its AI settings cranked. It did great while mopping with no issues, but on carpeting, it did bump the toy vacuum around a little bit. However, it fully dodged the cables and shoelaces, and overall did an excellent job dodging clutter. Moving on to cleaning tests, let's first see how the T90 mops hard floors. On my kitchen floor, I've put down a bunch of soy sauce and let it dry and get stuck onto the floor. I've set the T90 to mop this area twice using its highest water output. The mopping performance is great. Ecovacs uses a nice plush mopping roller and isn't stingy with water, so it was able to quickly break down the stuck-on soy sauce and mop it up. After 2 passes, it got nearly everything, so I ran it again and it got the rest. The robot will do a great job taking care of everyday tracked-in dirt and stuck-on spots on floors. Next, let's see how the T90 handles vacuuming up all kinds of kitchen crumbs while also mopping. I added extra dirt and hair to the corners, so we'll keep an eye on those, and in one corner, I added some entryway sand to see how it would handle picking up something like tracked-in dirt by a doorway. When set to clean a single room twice, the T90 will only edge clean the room once per job, so to give it 2 chances edge cleaning for this test, I did 2 full 1-pass cleaning runs. The T90 Pro Omni has excellent edge cleaning on hard floors with some of the tightest edge mopping available from a mopping roller. You can crank the True Edge mopping settings where it'll take its time and course correct often to really hug walls. The end of the mopping roller is coated in a soft velour material to prevent it from scratching anything as it cleans along it. Edge cleaning is very tight, but without an extending side brush, getting into corners could be better. Scatter was surprisingly minimal even with the active side brush. I had the setting turned on for it to automatically turn off the side brush when large messes are detected, a favorite feature of mine on their X11, but it didn't kick in during this test. However, it didn't really flick around much either, which was surprising. Overall, the result was great, with only a little left behind along the edges and corners. It was a huge mess, but in daily use it will do an excellent job keeping your hard floors looking and feeling very clean. Let's see how the T90 tackles pet hair with an extreme pet hair pickup test. On this red rug, I've grounded a bunch of fake pet hair, and I've also added longer hair of multiple lengths to test the new Zero Tangle 4.0 brush roll. I've set the T90 to vacuum this rug 2 times at its max suction setting. The T90 did great. It picked up all the fake pet hair and longer hair no problem, and there was no leftover hair wrapped around the new brush roll. I went over the carpet afterwards with another vacuum, and it left very little behind. Overall, a great result for pet hair pickup and surface cleaning. For the next carpet cleaning test, let's see how the T90 cleans an entire carpeted room. As usual, we'll see how it cleans carpeted edges, but this time, along with the light to heavy particles, I've added some longer hair throughout the carpeting, and I've put down some sand in one area to represent tracked-in entryway dirt. That way we can see if it can pull sand out of thicker pile carpeting and handle harder to clean dirt. I've set the robot to max power and set it to clean this area twice. Here's the robot running at max suction, and it's not too noisy. It's very quiet on all but the max settings. The T90 is very smart and features excellent navigation. The robot will first border rooms, and the edge cleaning is smart and very tight. Edge cleaning on carpeting could be better though, because like most robots, the main brush roll can't reach edges of walls, leaving a healthy cleaning gap. The new brush roll does a great job picking up surface debris and had no problems gobbling up all the debris thrown down for this test. I set the auto empty to max frequency, and mid-job it went and auto emptied itself.
About to start auto empty.
I'm not sure if it can tell when the bin is full or if it's just on a sort of timer like most robots. This was welcome though because it auto emptied with no problems, requiring no interference from me during the test. After it's cleaned the entire room going one direction, the T90 will clean the carpeting again going a different direction. This helps the robot work the carpet nap better and grab anything it might have missed. This works great and I use this feature often, and there's lots of custom cleaning options available in the app. I would prefer if it could edge clean twice during a 2-pass cleaning run, but this does save the robot considerable cleaning time. Like the X11, the T90 uses Ecovacs Power Boost fast charging and can quickly top up during cleaning jobs when needed, resulting in excellent battery life. The robot is finished and it did a great job. Outside of the edges, almost none of the crumbs from the large mess is left behind. It picked up all the longer hair and debris, and the area with the entryway sand has no visible sand left behind. Overall, it did a great job and left the carpeting looking refreshed and clean. For a final test, let's see how the T90 handles harder to clean dirt with a deep cleaning test. After pre-cleaning this red rug, I've measured out 20 grams of fine yellow sand, sprinkled it onto the rug, and pressed the sand into the rug with a weight. I ran the T90 in its max carpet cleaning mode over this rug 4 total passes, and measured the weight of the robot's dirt bin before and after the test. The T90 managed to pick up 6 grams of sand, resulting in a deep cleaning pickup score of 30 out of 100. I was surprised by this result, so I did the test a second time and got the same result again. Looking at the robot, a few things happened here. A lot of the sand got picked up by the Ozmo roller, which dragged on the slow pile rug. I also think the new setup where the exhaust air is fed through the suction channel might have inhibited some of the sand pickup. Going over the rug afterwards with a very powerful vacuum, it was able to find remaining sand. The robot tested great with surface debris pickup and will do well with daily maintenance cleaning, but you'll still want to keep around a more powerful vacuum for deep cleans, just like most robots. Let's see how the robot held up after all those extreme jobs, and I'll show you how to take care of it. After all those tests, the mop's dirty water was filthy, and some of the sand was washed out and ended up in this tank. The dock has a large sink in the mop washing area that removes, and I would check this a couple times a month and clean it off as necessary. It can be tapped off in the trash or easily rinsed off to wash out anything in the lower area of the tray. Around the base of the dock, crumbs can build up over time, so clean those off occasionally and wipe off the back of the dock and the mop washing station, just making sure there's no crumbs. In the back of the dock, wipe off the charging contacts and the seal where it connects to auto empty. Looking at the bag area, a small amount of sand had leaked out around where the bag collar installs at the dock. When you remove the bag, wipe out the bag housing and the door to grab any debris that may have leaked. The brush roll is easy to pull out and clean when necessary. I would check it regularly and make sure nothing is built up on it. When removed, you can use all-purpose cleaner to wipe it down if it gets grimy. To remove the mopping roller, double-tap the power button and the robot will slide out the Ozmo roller, exposing a latch to unlock it on the end. There's a small collection tray that unlatches as well. After letting the Ozmo roller wash itself a couple times, there was still sand and debris built up around the roller and in the collection tray, as after the extreme test, it was unable to fully wash it all out. I vacuumed off the dried roller, but I would check and hand wash it as needed. Part of this poor result is one of the particles I put down in a large quantity, which sort of gelled inside the collection tray and couldn't get siphoned into the dirty water tank, so this result is abnormal. The little tray can be rinsed off along with the roller, and I vacuumed and wiped out the Ozmo roller housing. The housing has small areas where debris can get trapped, so I used a small flathead screwdriver to pick the debris out of those areas, then vacuumed it clean, or it could be wiped off. Because the dirty water tank on board the robot isn't designed to catch larger debris, it might be an issue for the T90, leading to higher user maintenance on the mopping side than should be the case. The extra wide mop grabs more solid debris than previous models, and as a result seem to struggle with washing it all out. Wipe off the bottom plate and side brush as needed, and the side brush is removable with a Phillips screwdriver when necessary. These areas and parts will get gross on combo robots over time, so it's good to check and clean these regularly as it will keep the robot working the best it can. Make sure the bottom plate tabs are tucked into the brush roll housing when you reinstall it. Once clean, I reinstalled the mopping roller and tray. There's a variety of sensors you should occasionally wipe off on the underside, front, side, and clean the charging contacts on the back of the robot. After all those tests, the T90 did an excellent job self-emptying its dirt cup with very little left over. With the dirt cup removed, occasionally wipe out the area where it sits. Leakage here wasn't bad during testing, but it's good to keep this area clean. Removing the filter requires a few more steps than I'd like, as you have to remove the lid and the filter screen, and then you can access the filter. Checking it after self-emptying, it was still packed with fine dust, so just like most other robots, I would check and clean this filter every 2 to 3 runs to maintain peak performance. The robot self-empties the bin well, but sadly, it doesn't clean the filter well enough. However, I do like that there's a mesh screen before the filter, which prevents the pleats from getting packed in with larger debris. The easiest way to clean the filter off is to regularly vacuum it off with another vacuum, and the filter is washable too. Because the filter is small with a small surface area, I would check it often, as it will clog every few runs, and I would also recommend purchasing additional filters for backups. That way you can rotate them out if you wash them. For maintenance on this one, I would check and clean it twice a month and check the filter inside the robot at least weekly. So there you have it. Ecovacs T90 is positioned at the very top of their mid-range, packing in their latest top-of-the-line features into a more affordable option. There's a lot to like about the T90. It's very quiet, has great battery life and fast charging, auto-empties well, has excellent navigation, and tight edge cleaning when mopping. It does a great job picking up surface debris and pet hair on carpeting, and is a true tangle-free robot. As far as things I'd like to see improved, the maintenance on the mopping side is more than expected for a mopping roller robot. In my testing, the mopping roller and the area around it held on to a decent amount of debris after self-cleaning, so I would check and clean out the robot a couple times a month to make sure it doesn't drag around collected dirt from previous jobs. The sink and the dock will require regular attention too, but the main issue is the general buildup inside the T90 mopping setup. The robot's dirty water tank is designed to only hold liquid, and the capacity for solid debris in the mopping tray is small. In my testing, it got overloaded, then couldn't fully clean itself. The extra wide mop catches lots more than the previous setup, and because the brush roll isn't wider as well, in my testing, the mopping roller became overloaded. The new brush roll does better with tangle-free properties, but there is a hit to overall cleaning performance compared to the previous brush roll setup. I really liked that brush roll for its excellent grooming capabilities. The fins on the new brush roll are softer and less aggressive. The new setup where it feeds some exhaust air through the brush roll chamber during cleaning seemed to inhibit pickup of sand and heavier debris rather than help it. So I think a little more fine-tuning is necessary for this brand new setup. Because of the way the mopping roller handles solid debris, the robot would greatly benefit from a wider brush roll that could catch all the solid debris up front before the mop could. This is a common issue I run into with mopping robots, but the lack of decent solid debris capacity for the mopping roller is more apparent here, as it can get overloaded and require more cleaning than usual. A wider brush roll that went to the edge of the robot would help with edge cleaning too, especially in fully carpeted rooms. The filter inside the robot is small, and while the auto emptying works well, it doesn't clean the filter well enough, just like most robots. Be sure to manually clean the filter every couple runs to maintain the robot's suction. If Ecovacs could fit a cyclonic filtration system inside the robot, like they offer on some of their bagless docks, this would completely solve this issue and be a big benefit to the consumer. Hopefully we'll see that in the future. That's about it. The Ecovacs DEEBOT T90 Pro Omni packs in Ecovacs' latest tech and can do a whole lot for the price. It's a unique value proposition offering high-end features at a more reasonable price point. I always enjoy reading your comments and feedback. Please like and subscribe, and don't hesitate if you have any questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all later.